The entire population of Europe in the 13th century was 70 million people. The catastrophe you are about to witness killed the equivalent of more than half of them in 100 years. This is the story of the Mongol conquests, the deadliest war in human history. Baghdad, the center of the world, was reduced in a single week from a metropolis of 1 million souls to a field of skulls. The man who would build this empire was born around 1162 CE into a world of constant, unrelenting violence. The Mongolian steppe was not peaceful. It was a fractured arena of competing nomadic clans locked in endless cycles of raid, blood feud, and kidnapping. His name was Temujin. His father was poisoned by rivals when Temujin was 9 years old. His clan abandoned him and his mother to starve on the frozen steppe. He spent his childhood eating mice and roots from frozen earth. He was enslaved as a teenager. And yet, by the time he was in his 40s, Temujin had done what no Mongol had ever done: unified every nomadic tribe of the steppe under a single authority. In 1206 CE, the assembled clan chiefs gave him a title that would echo for 8 centuries: Genghis Khan, the universal ruler. And the conquest of the world had begun. Before examining what the Mongols destroyed, one must understand what made them so devastatingly effective. Because the Mongol war machine was not simply a horde. It was the most sophisticated military system the medieval world had ever produced. The composite bow, made of horn, sinew, and wood, had a draw weight of up to 160 pounds and an effective range of 300 meters. Every Mongol warrior could fire 12 arrows per minute from horseback at full gallop. This was not a skill learned in training. It was a skill mastered before the age of 5. But what truly separated the Mongol army was its willingness to absorb any technology it encountered. When they captured Chinese engineers, they recruited them. When they encountered Persian mathematicians, they employed them. When they discovered gunpowder, they weaponized it. The Mongol army that destroyed Baghdad was a fundamentally different instrument from the one that left the steppe. It had consumed and upgraded the best military technology of every civilization it had already destroyed. Its communication system was equally revolutionary. The yam, the Mongol postal relay, could transmit a message across the entire empire, from China to Persia, in under 2 weeks. An army that could coordinate across 5,000 miles was, in the 13th century, essentially unstoppable. The conquests unfolded in 3 great waves, each one reshaping the world beyond recognition. The first wave broke against China. The Jin dynasty, protected by the Great Wall and an army of 500,000 soldiers, fell over 20 years of grinding campaign. The Mongols learned siege warfare and artillery from the Chinese engineers they captured. By 1234, northern China was conquered. The Song dynasty of the south would hold until 1279. The second wave destroyed the Islamic world. In 1219 CE, the Shah of the Khwarezmian Empire made the most catastrophic diplomatic mistake in medieval history. He ordered the execution of Mongol trade ambassadors. Genghis Khan's response was preserved in Persian chronicles. It read, in essence, "You have chosen war. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you." The great Persian cities, Samarkand, Bukhara, Merv, Nishapur, fell one by one. Cities of marble libraries and world-class scholars, of geometric gardens and astronomical observatories, gone. At Merv, then one of the largest cities in the world, the Mongols spent several days methodically executing the population. A historian reported counting the skulls afterward. He stopped at 1,300,000 and gave up.
The third wave hit Europe. In 1241 CE, Mongol forces simultaneously invaded Poland and Hungary. Two battles 500 miles apart, fought 2 days apart. Both European armies were annihilated. The road to Vienna was open. Western Europe had nothing left to stop them. Then, Ogadai Khan, Genghis' son and successor, died in Mongolia. The Mongols turned back to elect a new great Khan. Europe was spared, not by its armies or its faith, but by the death of a man in a tent 5,000 miles away. It was perhaps the most consequential natural death in Western history. No single event in the Mongol conquests has been mourned more deeply than the siege of Baghdad in 1258 CE. Baghdad was not merely a city, it was the intellectual capital of the world. For 5 centuries, it had been the center of the greatest flowering of human knowledge since ancient Alexandria. Its house of wisdom housed Aristotle, Plato, and Euclid. Its scholars had invented algebra, advanced astronomy, and systematized medicine. Its population, perhaps 1 million people. The Mongol general Hulagu Khan arrived at its walls in January 1258 with 150,000 men. The siege lasted 13 days. When the walls fell, the Mongols killed the caliph. The first time in 5 centuries of Abbasid rule that a caliph had been violently killed by wrapping him in felt and trampling him under horses so that royal blood would not touch the earth. Then they turned to the libraries. Persian historians recorded that the waters of the Tigris ran black with ink from the destroyed books and red with the blood of its scholars for days afterward. The House of Wisdom was dismantled. Centuries of accumulated human knowledge were thrown into the river or burned. Within 1 week, a city of 1 million people had been reduced to ash and bone. It would not recover its pre-Mongol population for 600 years. Here is the unbearable paradox at the heart of Mongol history. The same empire that killed 40 million people also created the greatest era of cross-continental trade the world had ever seen. The Pax Mongolica, the Mongol Peace, stretched from the Pacific coast of China to the doorstep of Vienna. A merchant could travel from Beijing to Bruges without crossing a hostile border.